He asked me to marry him with a ring meant for my finger, until an email revealed it was bought for another woman's heart. My name is Elise Harper, 29, and for 3 years, I've been building a life with Nathan Cole, 32. We met at a mutual friend's rooftop barbecue in Chicago, where Nathan, with his easy grin and knack for storytelling, charmed everyone. He was a freelance graphic designer, always sketching ideas on napkins, while I worked as a pediatric nurse, drawn to his creativity as a balance to my structured days. Our connection was instant: late-night talks over cheap wine, weekend hikes, along Lake Michigan, and a shared dream of opening a cozy cafe someday. Nathan wasn't perfect. He could be forgetful, leaving dishes in the sink or misplacing his keys, but his warmth made up for it. He'd leave Post-it notes with doodles on my fridge saying things like, "You're my favorite chaos." I felt safe, seen. We moved in together after a year, renting a small apartment in Wicker Park with creaky floors and a view of the L tracks. Our life wasn't glamorous. Bills piled up and Nathan's freelance gigs were inconsistent. But we made it work. He'd cook lopsided pancakes on Sundays, and I'd tease him about his terrible singing in the shower. We talked about marriage vaguely, like a far-off adventure, but I sensed he wasn't ready. Still, I trusted him completely. His friends, like his college buddy Mark, called him the most loyal guy you'll ever meet. My sister, Clara, 26, adored him, saying he was the real deal. Even my mom, who's skeptical of everyone, warmed to him after he fixed her ancient coffee maker. Last fall, things shifted. Nathan started staying late at his co-working space, claiming a big client project. He was distracted, checking his phone more, but I chalked it up to stress. He'd still kiss my forehead before bed, murmuring, "You're my anchor, Elise." In January, he surprised me with a weekend getaway to a cabin in Wisconsin. Under a blanket of stars, he got down on one knee, his hands shaking as he held out a delicate emerald ring, my birthstone. "I want forever with you," he said, voice cracking. I cried, said yes, and we spent the night planning our future. A small wedding, maybe a dog, that cafe dream. The ring felt perfect on my finger, a promise etched in stone. Our engagement glowed for weeks. We told friends at a dive bar, and Mark toasted, "To Nathan finally getting it right." Clara helped me brainstorm wedding ideas, and Nathan's parents sent a bottle of champagne. But a tiny detail nagged at me. Nathan hadn't mentioned where he got the ring. He'd always been open about his impulsive buys, a vintage leather jacket, a fancy sketch tablet, but this time, he dodged my questions, saying, "Just a lucky find." I brushed it off. Why question a man who just promised me his life? Then, 2 weeks ago, everything changed. I was at work scrolling through emails during a break when a notification pinged from Nathan's account. He'd linked his Gmail to my laptop months ago to share a playlist. The subject line read, "Purchase. Confirmation. Custom Emerald Solitaire." My heart fluttered, thinking it was a sweet keepsake of his proposal. But when I opened it, the world tilted. The email wasn't addressed to me. The receipt, dated 3 days before our Wisconsin trip, listed a purchase from a jeweler in Evanston for a custom emerald solitaire size 6, engraved with, "For my eternal." My ring was size 7, and there was no engraving. Worse, the billing address wasn't ours. It was an apartment in Lincoln Park, and the recipient name was Cassandra Lee. My stomach churned. Who was Cassandra? Why was Nathan buying her a ring? I reread the email, searching for a mistake. Maybe it was a mix-up, a glitch. But the details were precise. Nathan's credit card, his signature. My hands trembled as I Googled Cassandra Lee Chicago. A LinkedIn profile popped up, a 30-year-old marketing consultant with a polished headshot. She was real. I clicked. Her Instagram public and filled with artsy photos, coffee shops, sunsets. A sketchbook that looked eerily like Nathan's. One post from December showed a man's hand holding hers, captioned, "Feeling on top of the world." The hand wore a familiar silver ring Nathan always wore. My shift dragged on, each beep of a patient's monitor amplifying my dread. Was Nathan cheating? Had he proposed to me with a ring meant for someone else? I replayed our engagement, his nervousness, his vague answers about the ring. Had I missed signs? At home, Nathan was cooking tacos, humming off-key. "Rough day, babe?" he asked, kissing my cheek. I nodded, forcing a smile, unable to confront him yet. I needed proof. The next day, I became a detective. I checked Nathan's phone while he showered. Nothing suspicious, just work texts and memes from Mark, but his laptop, left open, had a browser history that stopped me cold. Searches for Lincoln Park apartments, emerald ring resizing, and, chillingly, how to cancel a custom jewelry order. I dug deeper, finding a deleted email in his trash from Cassandra, dated a week before our trip. "Nate, I'm scared, but excited." "Can we talk about next steps?" His reply. "I need time, Cass. Please don't push." I felt sick. That night, Nathan noticed my distance. "You okay, Elise? You've been quiet." I lied, saying work was stressful, but my mind screamed, "Who are you?" Over the next week, I watched him closely. He left for client meetings at odd hours, once coming home with a faint floral scent on his jacket. I found a coffee receipt in his pocket from a cafe in Lincoln Park, time-stamped during a time he'd said he was at his co-working space. Each clue tightened the knot in my chest. Finally, I couldn't wait. I drove to the Lincoln Park address from the receipt. It was a sleek building, nothing like our scrappy apartment. I sat in my car, heart pounding, watching the entrance. At 7 p.m., Nathan's car pulled up. He stepped out, carrying a small gift bag, and a woman, Cassandra, I recognized her from Instagram, met him at the door. They hugged, lingering too long. I gripped the steering wheel, tears blurring my vision. He was living a double life. Didn't confront Nathan that night. I drove home, numb, the image of their embrace seared into my mind. Part of me wanted to scream, to throw the ring at him, but another part needed answers. Who was Cassandra to him? Was our engagement a lie? I decided to play it smart, gather every piece of the puzzle before he could spin a story. The next morning, I called in a personal day. Nathan left for work, and I went through his things methodically. In his desk, buried under sketchbooks, I found a locked journal. I used a hairpin to jimmy it open, a trick Clara had shown me in high school. Inside were entries from the past year, and they gutted me. "Cassie's pulling me in, but Elise is home," he wrote in November. "Proposed to Elise, felt right, but can't stop thinking about C." Another entry from January. "Cassie's pregnant. I messed up. Don't know how to choose." Pregnant. The word echoed. Nathan hadn't just cheated. He'd built a parallel life. I photographed every page, my hands shaking. I called Clara, who came over, her face hardening as she read the journal. "You need to leave him," she said. "But first, make him squirm." Her anger fueled me. I decided to confront him on my terms, but not without leverage. I emailed the jeweler, pretending to be Nathan, and asked for the order's full history. They replied with a bombshell. Nathan had ordered 2 rings, one for Cassandra, one for me, but canceled Cassandra's after a change of heart. He'd kept the smaller ring, my ring, as a backup. I felt like a prop in his indecision. Next, I messaged Cassandra on Instagram, posing as a concerned stranger. "I saw you with Nathan Cole. He's engaged to someone else. Be careful." I didn't expect a reply, but she responded within hours. "I need to talk. Can we meet?" We met at a neutral cafe. Cassandra was poised but pale, her eyes red-rimmed. "I didn't know about you," she said, voice cracking. "Nathan told me he was single. We started dating last summer and he proposed in October. I'm 3 months pregnant." She showed me texts. Nathan promising to figure things out after her pregnancy news. He'd proposed to me to hedge. His bets using the ring meant for her when she pressed him about their future. "I ended it last week," she said. "He begged me to stay, but I'm done." I shared my story, and we sat in stunned solidarity. Cassandra agreed to confront Nathan with me. That night, I asked Nathan to meet at our favorite park bench, saying I wanted to talk wedding plans. He showed up, all smiles, until he saw Cassandra. His face drained of color. "Elise, he started, but I cut him off. "Sit down, Nathan," I said, voice ice cold. "We're here to talk about your 2 fiancés." I laid out everything, the receipt, the journal, Cassandra's pregnancy. Cassandra chimed in, her voice steady. "You lied to both of us. You don't get to play victim." Nathan stammered, "Elise, I love you. It was a mistake." But his words felt like ash. I slid the ring off and dropped it in his lap. "You don't know what love is," I said, walking away with Cassandra beside me. The aftermath was a whirlwind. Nathan tried to salvage things, leaving voicemails begging me to talk. I blocked him. Clara helped me pack his stuff, muttering, "That coward," under her breath. She told my mom, who called, furious. "I trusted him, Elise. You're stronger than this." My friends rallied, with Sarah organizing a girls' night to burn Nathan's old hoodie in a fire pit. Mark, Nathan's friend, texted an apology. "I had no clue, Elise. He fooled us all." But I sensed he'd suspected something. Those late nights Nathan claimed were guy hangouts. Nathan's parents were mortified, offering to pay for my moving costs. I declined, but appreciated their shame. On social media, Nathan posted a vague booking sob story about losing everything, which backfired when Clara commented, "Maybe don't propose to 2 women next time." His friends piled on and he deleted it. Cassandra and I stayed in touch. She sent me ultrasound updates, and I cheered her strength as a soon-to-be single mom. At work, my colleagues noticed my focus sharpen. I volunteered for extra shifts, channeling my anger into purpose. But nights were harder. I'd lie awake, questioning how I'd missed Nathan's lies. Therapy helped. My counselor said I'd been love-blinded by his charm, a common trap. I started journaling, spilling my rage and grief onto paper. Nathan moved to Denver a month later, chasing a job. Mark said he was a shell, but I didn't care. Cassandra invited me to her baby shower, a small event with her family. I went, feeling odd but welcome. Her strength inspired me. She was building a life for her son, unfazed by Nathan's absence. "We're better off," she told me, and I believed it. 6 months later, I'm in a new apartment, a sunny 1-bedroom in Logan Square. The cafe dream is gone, but I'm taking business classes, eyeing a future in hospital administration. Clara visits often, and we're planning a trip to Iceland, my first solo adventure. I've started hiking again, finding peace in the trails Nathan and I once shared. They're mine now. I don't hate Nathan anymore. He was a coward, not evil, trapped in his own indecision. I pity him, living with his choices. Cassandra's thriving, her son Liam, born healthy last month. She sent her a tiny onesie with a sheep on it, and she texted a photo of him wearing it, captioned, "Our little survivor." We're not close, but we're bonded, 2 women who dismantled a liar's game. I've dated casually, but I'm not ready for love. Trust feels like a muscle I'm retraining. My therapist says I'm reclaiming my narrative, and I like that. I'm Elise Harper, not Nathan's ex. I'm the nurse who saw through the fog, who chose myself. The ring receipt, that accidental email, was my wake-up call, a brutal gift I'm now thankful for.